The emotional scale is going to be a big topic of conversation because the way you feel is your way of understanding what you are doing in this moment of this emotion vibrationally. And that matters so much because your vibrational state of being equals precisely your point of attraction. Nothing comes to you apart from your vibrational point of attraction. No one else can vibrate for you. Nobody else can be your point of attraction. No one else can do for you. You are the vibrational attractor. And there is something that we want you to consider. It's a new way of understanding that we know for sure is going to light you up and serve you in easier ways. And here it is. If you have been listening to us for a while, have you? Then you have undoubtedly heard us speaking about this vibrational reality, this vortex, and the cooperative components that are being gathered there by the law of attraction. And then we ask you, are you a cooperative component to your own desire? Because when you want something that you doubt, you're not a cooperative component. When you want something and you are ornery, you're not a cooperative component. When you want something and you are feeling mean or hateful, you are not a cooperative component. Your emotions are your indicator of how cooperative or uncooperative you are being in any moment in time. So as we're moving through the wonderful sequence of hours that this magnificent cruise organization have carved out for us, allowing us this space and this time in order to collaborate and become cooperative components with one another, what you're going to begin to notice is that if you will, during this week together and beyond, if you will begin to think of yourself in terms of, am I a cooperative component? Am I being a cooperative component? To what? Am I being a cooperative component to my vibrational reality, to the way my inner being is seeing my life, to what my inner being is a point of attraction for relative to me? But here's another way of looking at it. Am I, speaking of you and your physical body, am I, right here, right now, a cooperative component to the path of least resistance? Am I being a cooperative component to the path of least resistance? Now, the path of least resistance and the path of most allowance are the same path. The reason over all the time that we've been spewing this to you, the reason that we refer to it as the path of least resistance is because we don't want you to ever feel like you're supposed to ever be only on a path of only allowance. You are here, and resistance is a normal part of humanness. It's a normal part of being part of a time and a space. So some resistance is always going to be part of it. But if you are thinking in terms of the path for you right here, right now, this red hot minute, the path of least resistance or the path of most allowance, and you're now coupling with that, I want to be a cooperative component. Am I being a cooperative component to the path of most allowance? Am I being a cooperative component to the path of least resistance? So Esther's been playing with this. We've been playing with her about it. And one of the phrases that we've been speaking a lot, and she's speaking a lot to herself too, is, does this thought, in that she'll be driving, something will occur to her, maybe triggered by a song, maybe triggered by something else she's hearing on the radio, maybe triggered by something she's seeing around her in the world, in traffic, in other drivers. Doesn't matter where it comes from. And a thought will begin streaming, and she's begun saying to herself, does this thought feel a little better, or does it feel a little worse? Is this a thought of more allowing or more resistance? Is this thought right now, this thought that I'm thinking, this thought that I'm offering, this thought that is the reason for the vibration of my point of attraction, is this thought allowing or resisting? Is it more allowing than where I was just now, or less allowing than where I was just now? We'll talk a lot about this. You'll like it as we're chewing on the nitty-gritty of what's on your mind. As we talk about whatever it is, and you then contemplate, does this thought feel a little better or does it feel a little worse? And then add to that, am I right now a cooperative component to my desires, or am I right now a cooperative component to my doubts? And as you put that together, you're going to find yourself doing a much better job, a much more deliberate job of trending in the direction of what you want. And it doesn't take very much deliberate trending before manifestations start giving you evidence of what you've been doing. It's a nice thing to think a nice thought and feel good for a minute. It's a nice thing to give or receive a compliment and feel good for a minute. But when you trend deliberately, if that felt good, does this feel better? Just how cooperative can I be? Because we know for sure you have no idea what your capacity for cooperation is because you haven't even tried it. You have no idea how much capacity for vibrating in vibrational alignment with your inner being, who is always trending in a very powerful and positive direction on your behalf. And in fact, in any moment that you feel even the slightest bit of negative emotion, the negative emotion that you are feeling is your indicator that you are trending in opposition to the trending of your inner being. You are not a cooperative component to all of the things that you put into the vortex. Not right now this red hot minute. And it is unlikely that it's going to change anytime fast as long as you're trending in that direction. Are you following us? When you get your thoughts and your hands, when you get your hands in this vibrational clay, and you begin to not just during the 15 or 20 minutes that you meditate in the morning, quiet your mind and at least stop negative trending, or not during the moment in time that you have your feet in the jacuzzi or your feet in the sand at the beach. In other words, we know that there are things that you do where you deliberately feel some relief. Or when you're with that friend, that positively focused friend who adores you and always holds you as an object of attention while they're tuned in. We know how good that feels to you too. But there is just no substitution for you understanding who you really are, and that you've just got to trend in harmony with who you really are. And when you don't, you're not going to feel good. And it doesn't matter. 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 It does not matter at all what anybody else on the planet is doing or thinking or feeling. It only matters what you are feeling in response to your thinking in relationship to what your inner being is thinking. Make sense to you? You were source energy before you came into these physical bodies. Pure, positive energy, trending in love and effectiveness and power. And then you focused some of that consciousness into this physical body. And here you are in this physical body with the free will to focus and think as you choose. Of course you can. So here you are sifting through the data of your life experience, knowing what you don't want, which causes you to launch rockets of desire about what you do want, sifting and sorting and coming to your own conclusions about your own preferences. And each time you do that, you launch these rockets of desire that your inner being, your source energy, receives, understands, and knows and holds the frequency of forevermore. Never stops attracting purely every request that you ever send that way. But you, dear hearts, you often trend in opposition to what you're asking for. And then things don't go as you wish them to, and then you ask other humans what's wrong, and then they make stuff up to try to explain why you're not getting what you're getting. You probably were bad in a past life, they'll tell you. Or maybe you're not being good in this one, and none of that is the case. Or you were sent here to struggle and have a hard life. None of that is what it is about. It is simply you're asking for something that you're trending in opposition to because you don't know the power and the importance of the way you feel and what it means. But when you get it, that the emotion that you feel is telling you in this moment, every single time, how you're trending in relationship with your inner being, which means how cooperative you are to the desires that you have set over there. Desires that you held before you came into this physical body. You had plans, big plans, for joy and upliftment and being of value and receiving value. And then all that you've added to it along your way.